Hey Hebrew fans, this is Todd. So today we're going to build a custom figure. For this figure you need Lobo, and you're going to need Horde Prime, and then you're also going to need to get a Buzzsaw Hordak. So let's go ahead and build this. So first off the bat, let's go and open up Buzzsaw Hordak. Kind of a cool, fun figure. Now actually this figure has not raised a lot in price, so if you decide you want to get one of these, they're pretty easy to get. I'll put a link in the description so you can find one pretty inexpensive. And they're not super cheap, they're right around $50 to get one. But there's a lot of usability from using this figure. And for this one, to make this overkill figure, works just great because he has a chest cavity that opens. So that's why I use this figure here. And I actually bought this one just to make another overkill figure. So once you get him out of the box, you then have to heat up his parts so you can pull them apart quickly. And there'll be a lot of times I'll be heating his parts up, but I won't be showing it on camera. So first thing I'm going to do is get his head all softened up so I can pull it off easy without wrecking the neck peg. Now the head we're going to use for this is from Lobo. And there's the head. You can see the difference in the peg size of the two heads. So you're going to have to alter Lobo's head. As you can see, one side's altered and the other side's not. So it fits onto the head correctly. There we go. So you're also going to need a hat. And the hat I actually stole from Tex Hex. He works great for the hat for Lobo. Now you don't have to use this hat or this head as long as you have some figure that looks like an evil cowboy of some sort. Now I pulled off his armband as well because I want to use that for the new figure. And actually it does leave like a black mark on there. You can see where the glue is on there. So that does kind of stink. So while we're waiting for his parts to heat up in the water, let's go ahead and just paint the holster black. And this holster is from the Hero 2 figure. And you don't need this holster, but I think it just adds a little extra oomph to the cowboy look of the evil villain for Rio Blast. So that's why I went ahead and grabbed this holster. I wanted to get rid of the gold and the red, so just a black coat of paint does a great job on this. Now I actually painted it with a light brush strokes to cover most of the holster. There it is. Wonderful. Alright, let's go ahead and pull off his arms at the bicep, leaving the shoulders in there. And now let's go ahead and prepare the gun to fit into his hand. I used some clear heat shrink tubing. I actually used 2 layers and cut them at an angle. And then I used the heat shrink, I used a heat gun to actually shrink it on there. But the trick is to get the right length. Now if it's too long, you can cut it off after it heats it up while it's still hot. So make sure you have that fit. And again, I cut mine at a slight angle. There I'm heating it up. And I put 2 on, not just 1. In the video, I'm just going to show you 1 because it's the same, just again. Alright, and once you get this heated up, and then let's go ahead and pull off his legs as well. They've heated up in the water, and we're going to replace them with the legs from the knee down from Horde Prime. So you can see there, I got the Horde Prime legs, stick them on there, and basically just repinning the pin. You may have to dunk it in the water a few more times to keep it hot, and once you get them both in there, bada bing, bada boom. Let's see how he looks. I'm pretty sure I show him here in this spot. Show me the figure. There he is. Ta-da! Alright, let's get the holster on him. And I heated up just the spot where the hole was, just so that it could go on easier. Otherwise, sometimes you can fight that for quite a while. And let's go ahead and stick his arms on. Again, I heated those up just to pop those in. And once things are heated up, it's so much easier to mess with them and pop them in and out. Some people call it the heat and pop method. Heat and pop method. So there, he's looking pretty cool. He's got the gray and black motif going on. And now let's talk about his chest gun. So his chest gun, to get this to fit in there, I used some black poster putty to get the right height and get the shape of it. I wanted to make sure this fit and it could open and close, and I actually used the gun from Rio Blast. Now, mostly that's how I used it in the past, but you'll see later on I decided to change the way I do this, and I'll show you guys that in a few minutes. A cool, different way to do it. And it's available to you too. So there is the gun. You can see it's kind of shooting up and outward, but kind of cool the way that works and the way it moves. Alright, so Now I want to make sure I paint the hands red. So to do this, you just tape off the part where it connects, because you don't want to get any paint in those hands. Make sure you do it to both hands. And I'm just going to use some red spray paint that I have in the garage. And so you want to make sure that you tape this up. You do a really good job, because you don't want to get the actual part where it connects covered with paint, otherwise it might get stuck in the hole later on. Alright, so I'm going to head down and paint those, and there it is, all nice and painted, still wet. And of course I did both of them and put on like 3 coats of paint, and then I put on some clear coats afterwards, and here they are, all nice and painted up, and it looks a lot. So I decided to 3D scan the gun in from the chest, and I left the poster putty on there so it could be the right shape and height to fit into that area. But after you scan things in, it's not perfect. In fact, this is how it looks once it's scanned. I kind of didn't like it. So I went through and I actually remade the gun, and here's the gun right here that I made. And then once I made the gun, I decided to throw it back into Blender, and there's the gun on one side, and then I went ahead and mirrored it and then put it on the other side. So there it is. Then off to make the middle section. So I went back to my program and designed the middle section. There it is. And then I threw that in Blender as well. And there it is. Then I got rid of my original scan so it's not blocking the view, and there is the new gun, nice and clean and sharp. I printed a whole bunch of different sizes, and there is the gun all nice and printed. And you can see it's like some kind of cool playing piece, like on some kind of board game like Risk or something. And I have one that's wide and one that's narrow, and I decided to stick with the wide one because that's what I really wanted, and it just fits in there. You can either install it like that, or you can actually put it down in the front where the door opens. So kind of your choice. Is why I have the front curved and rounded. Now I decided to go ahead and paint it red, and then use some poster putty to leave it on there and put it on the actual door, and it works really great for opening and closing. And you can see now my figure is complete. This is the black poster putty I used. You can go back and pause that if you need to see it again. And there is our figure with all of his cool accessories. So now I can go ahead and swap them out. Now these actual weapons I'm using to swap in and out came from the weapons pack. I just painted the red spots on them so that they could match the motif. And there is my evil cowboy for Rio Blast. And when I first made him originally, I actually used Robato's hands, but using the silver hands and painting them red worked really good. Now you don't have to quite go this far on yours. You can actually just stop at just using a Buzzsaw Hordak. Alright you guys, well, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and I will see you guys next video. Bye now.